Hello, everyone, and welcome to this important episode of Ignition Time. I think this is big news about unemployment benefits and for the future of unemployment benefits in our country. Specifically, this is a very big reveal, if you pay attention, from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen talking about what lies ahead as far as the future of unemployment benefits are concerned. I'm actually going to break this down for you, and I'll show you a clip of the US Treasury Secretary actually revealing what could be the future. Welcome to this channel. Here's a little bit of information about me. You'll learn a little bit more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me, how I was able to live my American dream. I want to help you live your American dream. I don't want the American dream to be stuck in a cycle of poverty that you see on your screen right now. I want you to know that I was able to escape the cycle of poverty, and my goal is to help you live the American dream. I want it to be raining money for you. I want you to have a tangible shot at the American dream. I don't want you to just watch others live the American dream. And an important part of all of this is understanding how our country works, how our economy works, and by extension, how you can manage your money. This channel is not about the red or the blue, it's about the red, white, and blue. For me, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, I'm an American first. We are all Americans first. Let's jump right into some important comments from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. She was specifically asked about unemployment benefits, how important they are, and the future of unemployment benefits when this big reveal occurred. Janet Yellen was actually speaking with lawmakers about the economic recovery, and she said something that I thought was extremely important, and she says that towards the end of this clip. This is what she said. The time may have come to modernize our unemployment system and to look for ways to tie the generosity of unemployment benefits to local conditions, or to put in place automatic stabilizers that tie to local conditions and national unemployment rates. That is an adjustment that would seem sensible to me. I gotta tell you, I have a lot of confidence in our US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. She is extremely well respected by both Democrats as well as Republicans. Let's roll the tape and listen to some important comments from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen about the importance of automatic stabilizers, and then I'll break this down for you and tell you how significant this is. Make sure you watch this video all the way through to the very end, because the situation we find ourselves in now is that the whole unemployment benefit system is like a chess game. You see the chess game on your screen right now. You have President Biden, you have Joe Manchin, the conservative Democrat, you have House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, you have the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and you have the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, all playing games before passing all of these rules, before passing all of the stimulus. But what if stimulus was tied to economic numbers, automatic stabilizers? What if we had a scenario, a world in which, let's say, the national unemployment rate is 3%, which is, by the way, where we were prior to the pandemic. And let's say the unemployment level in a state, because let's say there was a natural disaster or some other event in the state, went up to 6%. Now, as long as local conditions were tied to the national unemployment rate and were significantly worse than the national unemployment rate, automatic stabilizers, meaning unemployment benefits, in the words of the US Treasury Secretary, the generosity of unemployment benefits should be tied to local conditions. What if the unemployment rate was 6% in a given state, which let's say was higher than the national unemployment rate? What if unemployment benefits automatically went up? What if maybe the state was able to send out stimulus checks to help local residents? This is the concept of automatic stabilizers. This is an economic solution. It is a financial, practical solution. It is not a political solution. It prevents all the political games, all the political shenanigans that we suffered through in the second half of 2020, and the reason why Democrats had to push through the American Rescue Plan without a single Republican vote in the House or the Senate, which is unbelievable, which shows you how divided we are as a country, how divided the two sides are as a country. Let's roll the tape and hear from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen talking about the future of unemployment benefit and the importance of automatic stabilizers. Make sure you watch this video all the way through to the end, because in the second half of the video, I'll highlight another important factor that will lead to economic recovery as far as the US Treasury Secretary is concerned. Let's roll the tape and hear about the importance of automatic stabilizers. Let's watch.
We are all interested in getting everyone back to work. You've indicated, though, recently that it could be a full year until we reach full employment. In that interim, would you support enhanced unemployment benefits? I think the American Rescue Plan has done a great deal to help the unemployed, but that effort, I think, should continue. Your views, please.
Well, I I think, well, unemployment remains high, and it's important to provide the supplementary relief in the ARP. And that begins to expire, I believe, in the fall, when I believe the economy will be getting back on its feet. People have raised concerns about whether or not this additional aid will deter people from going back to work. That's certainly not an issue when unemployment is as high as it is now. And studies that have been done suggest that people receiving this have been accepting jobs. It hasn't deterred work. But I do think it's appropriate as the economy recovers, and I hope it will by the fall, that should be phased out.
Just a follow-on point. I've noticed coming from Rhode Island in past recoveries, some areas come back much faster for many different reasons. Some are slower. In the last major recession, Rhode Island and Nevada lagged behind significantly. Would it be appropriate for states to qualify for extended benefits if they're over a certain level of unemployment, and even if other states have sort of broken through?
Well, I think, the experience we've had suggests that the time may have come to modernize our unemployment system and to look for ways to tie the generosity of unemployment benefits to local conditions, or to put in place automatic stabilizers that tie to local conditions and to national unemployment rates. So that is an adjustment that would seem sensible to me.
Now, in the second segment, the U.S. Treasury Secretary and the Chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, the two top money people in our country, were asked about stimulus checks. And it's very interesting how Jerome Powell kind of sidestepped the question, because he said, I'm not an elected official. We need to leave this to the elected officials. But I think the one thing that both agreed on was that the vaccines are critical to economic recovery, because as more people get vaccinated, the economy can start to reopen. People will feel more confident going out there, eating out again, spending again, traveling again. And this allows the industries of travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality to reopen, which, by the way, employ a majority of our fellow Americans who are on unemployment, who have lost their jobs permanently, because there are individuals who are struggling to put food on the table, to make rent, and to keep the lights on. Let's roll the tape and hear about the importance of vaccines from the two top money officials in our country. Let's roll the tape and watch.
Getting people vaccinated as fast as possible, does that help the economic recovery?
Oh, yes, absolutely. As Chair Powell indicated in his own remarks, ultimately the economic recovery depends on success in getting the pandemic under control, and vaccinations are critical to our ability to accomplish that.
And Chair Powell, as you had said earlier, you obviously agree with Secretary Yellen on that from what you'd said earlier. Do you think, Chair Powell, do you think direct payments to families help the economic recovery?
Again, I'm reluctant to, these matters are for Congress, not for elected representatives, not for us. Nobody has elected us to make those decisions. I would just rather say at a high level, I think fiscal policy has provided a lot of support, and that's been appropriate.
Secretary Yellen, do you want to expand on that same question briefly? Direct payments helping the economic recovery?
Well, I think the direct payments are providing support to families for a wide range of burdens that many have suffered over the last years. There's other support that's clearly targeted, but I think this is helpful, in the spending that it will produce will speed the recovery.
And folks, it's very clear that the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, is very confident, very bullish about economic recovery. Here's the headline of an article from Bloomberg. Powell sees highly desirable gains behind modest jobs view. Basically, he's saying that, hey, right now things kind of look okay, but I expect the future to be much better, and I expect unemployment to drop. He is extremely confident that unemployment will drop, and he thinks that the future is going to be much better and interest rates are likely to go up. I'll cover the impact of interest rates on the stock market and on your money in future videos, but it's very clear that the US Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, and the US Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, Both believe that unemployment benefits are important, that things will get better going forward, and in important comments from Janet Yellen, that there needs to be some mechanism of automatic stabilizers, automatic economic triggers for unemployment benefits going forward. That was it, everyone. Let me know what you thought of comments from the US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. What's up, Miss Yellen? And the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. What's up, Jerome? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I really appreciate you. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I assure you, when Miss Yellen watches Ignition Time, she clicks the like button. When the Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Powell, when he watches Ignition Time, he clicks the like button. They shake hands, and as they're shaking hands, they use their other hand. They kind of finagle the other hand and get to the keyboard and click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. My goal is to bring you the truth wherever the truth might lead us. Also follow me on Twitter. Here's my Twitter feed, and as we scroll through the Twitter feed, you realize that if you follow me on Twitter, you can follow along all the breaking news stories with me in real time. This way we'll be essentially interacting in real time, and you'll be able to follow along as I watch the news and identify what is important for us to know as far as the country, the economy, and your money is concerned. Remember, for me and for us, it shouldn't be about the red or the blue. It should be about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. We are all American first. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.